that's so exciting, and it's so amazingly attractive.
Yeah, you're not laughing now, are you?
Well, I am. Yeah. Such a high. Highness, 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 your highness, 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 your highness, highness. Now, if you can just calm down a little bit with me. Calm, I farm politeness. I sell it for profit. Calm, I sell righteousness. I sell it for nothing. Well, rather you than me, people. Rather me than thee. How many we got in? I'll get some quick hellos in, shall I, before they all fly off elsewhere. Did you get to see the thumbnail? Can you believe the first time you've ever seen that on YouTube? And like a bird of peace, it's going to fly away, never to be seen again. Thank you, people, for the donations recently. I told you that's what I'd buy. My other ones turned out they were Jekylls. Yeah, Jekyll and Hydes. And this is how they broke, because they sort of worked. They life-changing, life-changing. If I've got like, if it's they are because I use them. But it fell out of my ear, but from very low, so not low enough to smash, but weirdly, it lodged into sort of like imagine a hole in the concrete or the not gravel, like sort of like concrete, old crete. It was old crete, like a little chamber that's just the same size as a bit that goes in your ear. And so out of all the places in the whole universe, across the universe, nothing's gonna change my pods. So it's in this little pod, and I thought, no dramas. Grab the bit that comes off it, the little pointy downy bit, picked it up. It doesn't work anymore. It worked, but it sounded like I had Zippy saying what I was saying back to me a split second after I was talking. I use them for work videos as well, So to get some legit ones, and I tell you what, if I thought those snides were good, they're amazing. How do you get so much bass in something that big? You'll never know, will you? We'll never know. Now, we might have some problems, apart from obviously my ability to do a stream, because is there anything on here you shouldn't have access to? No, we can be all right. You'll see here that I've actually got midway through rendering a Dragon's Den video, an hour long. So there's an hour-long Dragon's Den video. Can you see where my cursor is? Look, it ain't fully downloaded because I'm doing it in 1080. Yeah, I like to have the extra quality of a 1080 download. And why, you might ask? Or you might ask it in the Khmer. How do I? Well, I'll tell you how do I. Because I've got new subscribers. Now, it's so weird, right? Social Blade only tells you, because YouTube only tells you, well, that's not strictly true, actually, but Social Blade only tells you when you get another 100, because it's sort of like, it's not worth them doing 1, then lose 1, up 2, down 3. And I rarely hit 100 before I lose a few. And I've been on 19,100 for as long as I can remember. Even Horace said to me, about 6 years, about 6 months ago, he said, do you ever gain or lose subscribers? He said, you've been at 19,100 for years. I said, yeah, I don't know what's happening. And I looked at it today, 19,200. We've got someone over here from Twitch trying to sell something. I want to offer promotion of your channel, viewers, followers, views, and chatbots. Chatbots, oh, that'd be great. The price is lower than any competitor. Wow. I'll bear that in mind if any of the mods are in. I've seen these adverts. You've probably seen them yourselves, people. Adverts, people who watch videos and get paid for it. I mean, it's pittance. And even in the advert, they sort of say, just have them running in the background, but you've got to watch the whole thing. It's a weird, I had a mate who done a blag on Spotify where he was saying to me, if you had about 10 laptops, or, you could write a little bit of code to find the right videos, watch them, find the next one, watch them. And it turns out that it will probably be more money on the electric. And then he started talking about breaking into a school and just running it off their electric. And I said, you don't want to be, stealing school electric. And he went, all right, then a hospital. But, Miss, my dialysis machine ain't working. Sitting earning 0.001p watching videos. Talking about earning, let's talk about grifting. Entropy up the top there, super chat down there, all donations wildly appreciated. It is double bubble at the moment. That is what I'm saying. It's like a promotion. It's a terrible, for someone who reckons he knows about marketing, it's a terrible promotion, but because I'm skin, the money means more. So a £5 today is like a £10 last year. Double bubble. But you get the same for your money though. But point being, donations appreciated. And thank you so much, all the scrubs that went over to iHypocrite stream that I'd done with Devon. I was a bit disappointed by that stream, to be honest with you. I know my boy LP does YouTube full time now, and I think that changes you in some respects, because it's not like I've made a Dragon's Den video today because I wanted to, because I like them, they're fun. I like doing the Dragon's Den videos, and I'm streaming now because I like this community, and because I'm nearly getting my novel finished, I haven't been streaming as much as I used to, but I will. Trust me, I will, because I love it. I love you lot. I do. I love it here. And, it's 1:30 in the morning on a Friday night, and this is what I'm choosing to do. But when you're a full-time YouTuber, it's not the job it used to be. It used to be back in the day, like the glory years of YouTube, 2014, 2013. You'd have a channel with a 30 quid camera, just come on and just talk about anything, and then you'd become a celebrity. You'd get your 200,000 subscribers, run a few adverts, and you'd have enough for a half decent job, a couple of grand a month, easy peasy. But today, to be a full-time YouTuber, I tell you, it's not that. I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I think I could fall back on it if I lost my business, which is getting frighteningly. I mean, I've been here before. It's hard out there at the moment, people, and it's made me consider potential alternatives. Because if my business folds, which it isn't, don't get me wrong, but it is hard out there. We're having to do a lot of different marketing, it's hard work. I would have to leave here. I'd have to go. I'd lose my missus because I couldn't have her come and live in England at my mum's house. That's just not fair. It's not fair on her. It's not fair on my mother. And what am I going to do when I get there? What am I going to do living at my mum's house? I can manage about 3 hours with my mother. I asked my mother to lend me some money today. Do you know what? Right, I've got a corporation tax bill, and I can afford it, but it's such a lump sum that it's going to do me. It's going to do me for a while. So I thought, well, my mother's she must have a few quid tucked away. Haven't all old people? I thought if I tap her up for a few bags of sand, and bless her, I said, Mum, lend us $3,000, because she's lent me little bits of money like that before, and I've paid her it back. I said, I'll pay you back monthly. I'll give you £500 a month. And she went, no. She went, no. She went, I'm skint. I said, I know, everyone is. Everyone except for bloody Henry Hill. Look at that. Thank you, Henry. Thank you, mate. I am actually circling back to what I was talking about with our hypocrite here. But she said no. But then I said, all right. I said, it's weird asking. I said, blah, blah, blah. Because the stock market is down at the moment. Now, that's all right. That's what happens. The markets are volatile. If the stock markets don't rise again, that will be the last of everyone's worries. That will be the end of the economy, the global economy as well. That'll be real problems. But that means waiting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. And so to sell shares to pay that tax will cost me money because the shares are lower. That's the problem. That's one of the issues. Don't invest money you can't afford to lose, because if you suddenly need that money and you're selling shares at a loss. And when I told her that, she said, well, don't do that. She said, that's stupid. She said, 3 bags I can do, no problem. I thought you wanted a fortune. Hello, Void. Nice to see you. Hello, Baz. Hello, JP. And then the only reason she didn't lend it to me was because she couldn't do it. Poor woman. She's even shared her screen with me. She's trying to work it out. And we were there about 20 minutes, and she's nearly 80, my mum. And she's going, I can't see your face. How do I see Skype? But it says Christopher, the problem. And I said, Mother, I said, look, it's all right, love. I said, she was getting in a right, and all this. And I said, look, just stop. Just stop. I said, don't worry. I said, I didn't really want to ask you. And now I regret it. And she said, well, just ask me when I'm not so skittish. And it's a word my mum uses all the time. And so I have as well. It's in my novel so many times, skittish. And I said, you feeling skittish? She went, yes. I said, why? And she went, this bloody bank thing you've got me doing. I thought she was already feeling a bit skittish. And so I said, forget it. Anyway, so our hypocrite is doing it full time. But I got a feel, this was one of the problems. This is a call-in show, by the way, people. I'll just get this out of the way. Hello, Doc Shelley. Good to see you. Hello, Ether Elephant. Hello, Packer. Nice to see you. Hello, Keys to the Kingdom. Always a pleasure. Keys to the Kingdom says this. Can I suggest you have put so much into the net, life on the screen, work and social, that life out in the sunshine is strange? You can suggest that, but I haven't got a clue what you're talking about. But it's a nice one. It's cool. Hello, Clark. How are you, son? Albatross is on the firm. Your mum told me to send you this. Cheers. What, Foxtrot Alpha? Nice one, Albert. Thank you, Henry. Oh, someone had a win at the races. Always nice. Johnny Redpill, see, he reckons I hypocrite. What's it called? Red radicalized it. I thought you said red pilled. Oh, sorry, Albert. It was followed rapidly by an Ayrton Senna. Cheers, mate. Aprasha Kanatu. But this was one of the problems I had when I was a stand-up, because I never wrote any jokes down. I didn't tell jokes. My stand-up was much like this, but obviously I went for laughs all the time because it was stand-up comedy. But the problem with that is, if you've had a terrible day, maybe you've got something coming up that's a real nightmare in the future, and your missus has sent you nuts or come around your house the night before and punched you in the bollocks repeatedly, and then when she got in a fight with you, literally domestic violence in the hallway. The neighbours pull me off her who was attacking me, by the way. I didn't hit her. I was just restraining her to stop her repeatedly punching my bollocks. And then they yanked me off her and let her go up the hallway and up the stairs and into my house. So when you've got all that on you, this is the mark of a professional. You can then turn up to some stinky boozer in East London at 9:30 at night to see 50 pissed blokes and go, hey, all right, hey, full of beans, here we go, let's tell some jokes. And sometimes I could style it because I'd talk about how terrible I felt. You know, that would be my way of working. I'd be like, so lovely to be here. You know, it's lovely because I didn't get my deposit back today and you know, or whatever. And I'd just, you know, but sometimes I hated it. Sometimes I'd be up there and I'd be like, hey. And when you're a professional YouTuber, I imagine you have a schedule and you think, right, I'll get 2 of that. I'll get 2 of that particular video out. I'll get 3 of these types. Do you know what I mean? It felt a little bit like production line. You know, when we got on, it wasn't like, hello, Devon, hello, Chris, what you been up to? How's things? Have a chat, 10 minutes. It was like, oh, Chris is here. Let's go. Let's start. Hello, Chris. Hello, Devon. Right, the first clip. Wait, oh, here we go. Next clip. It was like a blur of clips. And then he was like, okay, thanks, everyone, for coming. I'll see you next time. I was like, and then when the show ended, gone. Most streams I've done, when the stream ends, you usually have a little chat. You know, oh, how was that? You like that? Oh, and then you actually say a few other things. You say, oh, that fucking clip so-and-so. Excuse my French, people. You know, nah. And I felt a bit used. I felt a bit dirty. I felt like I'd been discarded like an oily rag. Do you know how that feels, Mama? Do you know how that feels, Mama? Right, where are we? It looks like Doc Shelley's dropped a Lady Godiva. Cheers, Doc. Have a drink on me. We'll do. Funny you say that, actually, Doc. Oh, apparently there's another Dartfordian. Sally, are you here? Sal, tell me if you're in the chat. Identify yourself. Sally from Dartford. Let me know if you're here. If you don't want to, obviously don't. But if you are here, let me know. Thank you, Doc Shelley. That's great. Hello, Woodlander. Nice to see you. MCJ Dub Power. Pizzles on the firm. Hello, mate. Hello, Jessica. Marzipan. We've got some proper OGs on the firm right now, haven't we? Right, so there's one thing I want to show you. It's a bit weird because I'm rendering this video over here. I've got to open a different browser. Technology. Speaking of tech, that's what I want to show you. Hang on, let me find it. Nishkan Finder. We can take you home. Right, hang on. What's that? Some good money-saving tips. Don't go out, stay in, hate everyone. That's not what I'm after. That's not the link I wanted. Right, this is the link I wanted. That'll open that over there. Now, if you follow me, a VART has occurred. I will have a look at entropy. It would appear that entropy is all on the super chats. Wow, that's weird. That is weird. Only 2 of them have shown on entropy. Blogs ain't on the firm. Let me just make sure I haven't missed any. Thank you, Doc Shelley, for that one. Appreciated. Nice one, Ludwig. And Ayrton Senna's lovely. I missed the Devon stream. Soz, here's a few beer tokens. Well, it was Devon and Lyndon. It was I Hypocrite. It was the 3 of us. It was You Can't Stop Progress. And I'll be honest with you as well, the content kind of depressed me a bit. I said in the stream. I also said in the stream, are we just not old men, though? Just looking at the youth and going, oh, all that, you know, like old men did to punks and old men did to mods and teddy boys and old men did to Victorian dandies. You know, a bit of me felt like, do you know what I mean? I mean, I get it. There's a massive difference between civilization destroying medical degeneracy and old men moaning about some fads. but that difference has to be identified, and you have to stay on the right side of it. I think that's really important. You know, I can imagine a few sort of 13-year-olds watching that stream. Thank you, Ludwig, by the way. I can imagine a few 13-year-olds watching that and thinking, why are these old men just, we don't like people doing that, don't like that. But there you go, there you go. Still a privilege to be asked. It's always nice to be asked to go on someone's stream. Right, exactly, Mr. Garland. It had a little bit of that about it. JP loves it, though. I'm not quite sure what he loves, but a bit of love's always all right. Right, okay, so this is what I want to show you. So this will be quick, and then we'll start the calling, because I ain't got all night either. I'm putting, tonight, I'm putting another teaser from my novel, which I am ploughing through. I'm editing it myself. I'm going to get ChatGPT to proofread it. It might be the first novel to be proofread on ChatGPT, which is going to be brilliant, because that means I'll get a lot of traction with tech YouTube channels. And also like all the self-publishing channels, because there's a story there. It's not just like, I've published a book. It'll be like, no, I used AI to proofread it. But not just I used AI, but I have to, because of my grammar and punctuation idiosyncrasies, and because my editors ended up in rehab. I haven't got a choice. I can't get, my editor had worked for me for 3 years. That novel had gone back like tennis ball. Back and forth like a tennis ball between us. So if without that technology, the novel doesn't get proofread, because the author cannot proofread his own book. You're too close to it. You can't do it. Copy editing, line editing, continuity, doddle. Anyway, so talking about AI, probably about 5 years ago. It's lovely to see you all here, by the way. I do miss streaming. I miss the community. Hello, 42. Nice to see you. Hello, John B. You're not the first person who's made jokes. He had a triple heart bypass as well, and people have said, that bad, is it? Fuck you. It's a good call, though. It's not just bad, it's unreadable. The other day, and if you read the novel, this is a bit of a spoiler, but the other day, in the middle of the normal story, and it's not a story, it's not, but in the middle of what isn't a story, I wrote, just as I was writing, I wrote, by the way, if you're still reading this, I just want to say thank you. It's been about 7 years in the writing, and it's been a lot of hard work, so I really appreciate it. Anyway, let's get back to it. And I'm leaving it in, man. I'm not trying to pretend I'm Thomas Pynchon and the avant-garde, but I'm leaving it in for sure. It's a lovely little fourth wall destroyer. And I told you there's that other bit where the character in the book meets a woman who only exists in the book, and he meets her in the street, and she's only a character in the book. But the other teasers I've put out, like the bloke who meets the bloke in the cafe in Manchester City, and he says, he like, you like fuck Thai asshole? I fuck Thai asshole. I love those fucking Thai assholes. So, kind of stuff you expect. But the teaser I'm going to put on my Substack tonight, top link in the description, my Substack, the one I'm going to put on there tonight, I think really reflects more what the novel's about, right? More what the novel's about. Feels like it's been longer. Yeah, tell me about it. So tonight, and I love the short stories I write, but they're not my novel, and I can't wait for you to read this teaser, because short stories are intentional limitations. This ain't going to be long. It's a short story, but I think you're going to love it. You're certainly going to get more of an idea of what the novel's like. Anyway, about 5 years ago, I was watching House. You know House with Hugh Laurie? You know, where he plays a doctor and it's like Sherlock Holmes, but he's a doctor rather than a detective. House, Holmes, the cocaine in Sherlock Holmes and the Vicodin or Vicodin in, it's the same thing. Watson and Wilson, you know, it's the same thing. I was watching an episode of that, and I think someone was in a coma. Now, I can't, this bit don't quote me on, but for some reason, one of them said, like offhand, it would be good if we could read his mind. And they didn't get Darren Brown in. Imagine getting like Uri Geller in. I'm getting something. They're saying you should pay me more. Anyway, someone offhand said it would be good if we could read his mind. And then House went, and the music went, da-na-na-na-na-na. And they got in an MRI scanner and some software. And it turns out there was some software where if you put someone in an MRI scanner and do a scan of their brain, and you know what an MRI does, which I don't really know, it's some kind of scanner of the brain. But if you've got the software, you can translate the data and recreate images, excuse the French, but fucking images of what they're thinking about. I mean, are you gay? That's the best question. I mean, are you gay? You can scan someone's brain. Now, I'm watching it and I'm thinking, now, one of the things with House is they don't just make shit up. Well, they do because it's fiction and that. But they're not going to make that up. So I've Googled it and I found the research. And they were doing research into using MRIs, processing the data, and finding out what those people were thinking about. Literally mind reading. And there was another paper that was peer reviewed by, you know, they're working together, but in different institutions. And the other one was talking about reading memories. Reading memories. That isn't far away from reading dreams. Now, the reason, now that was 5 years ago. Now we're at the modern age. Now, if you follow my Twitter or if you follow my Telegram, which you should, because I put a lot of interesting things, links to both in the description. Have a look at these pictures I'm about to show you, and you'll be able to guess what they are, because the problem wasn't the data, it was the processing power. Now they've got AI to do it. Let me just make them a bit bigger. Now they've got AI. So the top images, look, AI recreates what people see by reading their brain scans. A new artificial intelligence system can reconstruct images a person saw based on their brain activity. The top row is the image they saw. The bottom row is the AI reconstruction based on their brains. I mean, I'll tell you what I'll do to make this a bit better. I'll get a screen grab of that and I'll open that up. I hope I haven't got anything naughty. Oh, that was my thumbnail. It was a good one, wasn't it? Mid-Journey. Look at those beauties. Lovely having Robert Maguire painting the Cambodian beauties for my thumbnails. I was quite scared what might have been behind that, actually. Let me have a look. Hang on, what I'll do is I'll bosh these up here and we can have a closer look. So there you go. That's the picture that they were shown. And the AI read that in their brain. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's insane. That's insane. Now, here's the thing. It's on my Telegram, Bill. Hello, Bill, by the way. Nice to see you. Hello, Nick C. Well, Nick, it's interesting. Nick says, so no more secrets then. But this was what I first thought. What about when they start using this technology, which they will? I'll tell you why I know that, because do you think when cameras come out, people said, oh, one day we'll be using photographs in court? No, no one thought that. The camera was for taking pictures. This isn't anything to do with law. And the latter half of the 20th century, photographs in court have been, even in the Rittenhouse trial, photographs were important, and the processing of them. So this will be second, this will just be standard. But it'll be like a polygraph. You know the old polygraph, what do they call it? The other name for it? Lie detector. Now, a lie detector doesn't actually detect lies. It detects stress. But when we're stressed, when we're lying, we tend to be stressed. And polygraphs don't even work in court. But if you say you'll do one and you pass it, it kind of works in your favor. But why risk that when it doesn't prove your innocence? It might make you look good, but anyway. But what about when they say, if you say you weren't at 23 and 34th on the 3rd of March, blah, 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 at 7 o'clock, you'll let us scan your brain and see what you saw on that day and at that time. And can you imagine, like live on telly, they've into the MRI, and then they just pinpoint that time and date. They flick through his image memory like a filing cabinet, get to that day and time. Picture comes up, blurry picture of the victim, of the seductress, the blonde seductress going, and then a hand with a knife in it, and then her going, and then blood. And if you don't think that's going to happen, you don't understand anything. Not necessarily those details. So let's have a look at a couple more of these, because this is... Hello, Skin and Tonic. Good to see you. Have a look at the aeroplane one. So there's an aeroplane. Oh, this isn't the easiest to control. So there's the aeroplane. And that is what they got out of his brain. I mean, you can see the aeroplane. That is clouds. If I showed you that and I'd go, what do you reckon that is? You'd go, well, it's an aeroplane flying over a field with some trees and some clouds. And then I'd go, yeah, look at that. Look at that clock tower. And there's a clock tower. And if you said, if even at this level, if you said, I haven't been near a clock tower in the last year, and they got that clock out of your brain, they'd say, well, you have, or you've been looking at pictures of clock towers. Look at the train. Look at the train. Look at that. That's the one that the MRI came up with. Look at it. They processed information they dug out of someone's brain. Well, Arklow, look, here's the thing, Arklow. Arklow says, I seriously don't think this is a road we want to go down, folks. Yeah, but the problem, Arklow, the problem isn't technology. Technology is harmless. It's what we do with it. Technology has always been like that. I think people should have a Second Amendment. I think that we should have guns to protect ourselves. And yet we're not allowed them. But the gun itself is just a tool, isn't it? And without guns, it would have been a very different world. But there's still going to be plenty of murders. I mean, London's more dangerous than New York at the moment. Fucking hell. Hello, Alan. Good to see thee. Space Opera says they need to get the hell out of our heads and lives. Packer says enhance. What, those pictures? Sharpen. I just made the same joke as you, but with slightly different ingredients. But the point being, you know, that in my business, in e-commerce, it has just gone insane. Insane. I don't think there's any part of my business that hasn't been affected by AI. Because everyone's like, well, and so is my novel, as I just explained. And this is what I keep saying to the scrubs. You might not like it, and I get that. You know, I get that. People didn't like the printing press. People didn't like the camera. People didn't like aeroplanes. People didn't like cars. I get that. And without a doubt, cars have caused loads of problems, killed millions, wrecked the lives of millions, done all sorts of things. Our cars have absolutely changed the way we live our lives. Without motor vehicles, life would be completely different. And yet we accepted them into our lives and let those changes happen. My point is, as much as you might be suspicious about it, please don't let it pass you by, because you will become a technological underclass. And if you're a technological underclass, like any underclass, you'll suffer. You'll suffer. Now, am I saying go out and learn how it all works and learn how to use it? No, because there's too much of it anyway. But don't make the mistake of trying to swerve it because you've got an ethical issue with it, because it's coming to you anyway. And if you're not prepared and people are looking to do you harm with it, well, they're more likely to be able to, because you're not prepared. Who gets caught out with phishing scams? You know, oh, your bank has written to you. People are trying to steal your money. Log into your account. Click here. Oh, okay. It's people who don't know about phishing scams. You know, people talk about hacking as if it's like the old days. Quick, they're typing too fast. No, it's just someone sending someone an email saying, log into your bank, please. This is a security check, or we're going to freeze your account. Oh, sorry. There's my password. There's my number. Oh, everything's all right. You wake up in the morning, skint. Right. We can talk about some of that in the call-in. So what's the time now? I've been talking for 40 minutes. I'm sure Emma G's been keeping an eye on her watch. There's a little burp. Hello, back to the lab. Nice to see thee. Hello, Natty. How are you, son? Why don't you come on for a chat, you horrible bastard? When are you going to talk about our spastic comedian Rosie Jones? I already have. You know, there's my other spastic comedian friend. He's got his own gig now. Tim Renko, and he's got a BBC Three show called Jerk. But the problem is, he's not the comedian he once was, because that's what celebrity does to you. He used to be brutal. I mean, he's a full-on cerebral palsy. He can't walk without this four-wheeled sort of... It's like a shopping trolley turned up on its side with shoulder straps, and he sort of spazzes up the road with it. Yeah, I'll find a clip of Jerk. I haven't watched any of it because, well, I watched enough, but I haven't watched a whole episode because I know what the BBC does. But Tim Renko used to be savage. People used to walk of art. People used to walk out of... I've just seen it. There's a clip here. Accidentally gate crash in a refugee centre. Do we think this is going to be politically correct? This is meant to be funny. Trust me, this geezer who can barely talk was savage, was a brilliant comedian. I used to go and watch him at the Edinburgh Fringe more than I did most comics. Like, you know, it'd always open up like the people at the front in Edinburgh gigs, because all the rooms are so small. No one wants the front seats. Not only because you have to walk through everyone, but they're the people that usually get picked on. You know, if the comic does audience work, hello, mate. You come here with your missus, did you? And all that sort of stuff. So people don't want the front seats, so they tend to fill up last. And Tim Renko used to start off with, when people sort of nervously sat down at the front, he said, don't worry, we've measured it. You're not in the spitting zone. Because gob used to come out of his mouth. But Rosie Jones, and there's a few others of them, they come on stage. Look, I've got nothing against spastics. I made a video, Let's Laugh at Spastics, because I like to treat people equally. I wrote a short story called 7 Spastics, about 7 spastics I treated as I would anyone. I treated them for who they were, what they could offer, what they could receive, and as individuals. Whether that meant feeding them amphetamines and pipes, that's what he wanted. Whether that meant having sex, I had sex with a girl with claws and a broken back. But when that Rosie Jones comes on stage and just goes, and everyone's like, oh, no, man. And then what she does, because she's had to learn how to do it, tell them when to laugh by going, no. And everyone's like, how long is this going on for? Then she goes, no. I'm not having it. It's the same thing as the what was it? Was it only 6? Was it? That's a shame. Well, yeah, have a look at Tim Renko. I haven't seen this, but he was a great comic. I might get yeeted because this is BBC, but we'll give it a go. People, if it does get yeeted, I will be back in 3 minutes. That's what happens. But we'll try and play a little bit of it. So this is Tim Renko's BBC 3 series, Jerk. Let me know you can hear it, because we've been having problems with the audio lately because they've changed it. And trust me, he used to be excellent. Oh, this might be funny. Who knows? Buffering, but could you hear that? Hello, Jambo. How are you, son? Could you hear it? Thank you, Alan. So here, I will start again.
Sorry, is this food free? Yes, you no way. Please, come to front. Excuse me.
Right, I'm being told we're buffering, but my video has now finished. So if I press done on that, and then if I close my video software, I'll just save it first. It's already saved. That might be causing some problems because video editing software takes up a lot of memory. Right, let's try again. Here we go. I mean, you know it's going to be politically correct already.
Oh, shit. Allahu Akbar.
I don't know what he was saying. I'm sorry. I liked him. Tim likes me. But what was there a joke there? I didn't get it. I mean, maybe there was, and I just didn't understand it. But yeah, that was that then. Okay, let's get this show on the road. Where are we? No, I'm with you, Pax Max. I didn't have a clue what was going on. I'm with you, Alan. Absolutely. Hello, Otto. How are you, son? All seeing Otto, he's back. Oh, yeah, he's back. Let's touch fingers, Otto. Yeah. Don't touch too close, or you get grease on your camera. Can you feel the love? I just picked my bum. When I was showing that video, I was picking my bum. I wasn't really. I was playing my penis. I didn't. It's one that I didn't get it. I didn't hear it. But, you know, there you go. Right, here we go. I mean, maybe go and check it out. It's called Jerk, and it stars Tim Renko, and he is a good comedian, so it might work. Right, it's weird, isn't it? I don't have a look at it. It really did, didn't it, Ludwig? You can the way it's shot, everything about it. It's like a factory. You get the team of crap writers at one end, all leftists. You put it in, you wind the handle, and you get something out the back that looks like comedy, sounds like comedy, just doesn't deliver the laughs. Can you tell I got back on the gym yesterday and immediately hurt my ribs? I was doing about 12 kilo each arm lateral raises before I had the tendonitis. Yesterday, 4 kilos like a lady and still hurt myself. I was like, you're too old for this. Sent my girlfriend a video though. Don't worry about that. Oh yeah. Right, let's get this invite in. Let's get some people on. We can talk about whatever you want. AI is obviously up there. Hello, Dawn Browning. Look at that. She's talking to Ludwig. I'll let her keep that. I'll let her keep that conversation private. Well, Michael, as I've said before, comedy on television, like most mainstream culture, is what's left. It's not, you don't select what to put on, you know, the culture industry doesn't select what to have. Once you've taken out everything that will offend, upset, is politically incorrect in the original meaning, i.e. it's the incorrect politics. Once you've taken all that out, whatever you're left with, you bake a cake out of it. You know, imagine doing that with your fridge, your refrigerator. And your mate comes around and says, I don't eat dairy, I don't like fruit, and I don't like vegetables. So you open your fridge, you chuck out all the dairy, all the fruit, all the vegetables. And what are you having for dinner? Fucking beer and olive pie with no crust. Right, let's get this in here. Gosh, there you go. There's a link. While we're waiting for Packer to sort that out, I will see if there's anything. Don't forget, people, I've got a Dragon's Den video. It's going to go live after this. And don't forget the sample of my novel, Substack, top link in the description, that I'm going to put out. It'll be about 4 hours until I get it sorted. But when I get that sorted, I tell you what, the marzipan, you got beaten to it by Packer. I only have one at a time. That selection of my novel is the best selection you've had yet. Please don't miss it. Please, I beg thee. Packer!
Hello, mate.
Do you know the Dire Straits album, Brothers in Arms?
Yeah.
Right. Do you know the title track, Brothers in Arms?
Yeah.
Because we look quite similar. I mean, you're the ugly twin.
So they say.
So he don't care, does he? He's got the confidence. Marzipan, I only have one at a time. Right.
I won't be on long.
Toffee, I only have one at a time. I have one at a time. Right. We have to sing
Once a month, Chris, you should do streams for your members where we can all come on at once. What do you reckon?
I used to do that, didn't I? Yeah. Time, innit? Oh, man, don't. I'm just trying to get this book written. Today, I've run my business. I've made a Dragon's Den video. I'm doing a live stream, and I'm going to be writing till 7 o'clock on my novel. And you've just said, yeah, here's another 2 hours. And I've got to fit a girlfriend and things like eating into that. You know, I went 4 days without a shower. And that might sound all right to scummy blokes like me, but not in this temperature, it ain't. Right, check this out, right? It's 2 o'clock in the morning, yeah? 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey, Siri, what's the temperature in Phnom Penh now?
It's 25 degrees right now.
Right, 25 at 2 in the morning. Today, it was 35. So that fills up, that warms up all the buildings. I've got a fan above my head there, Packer. If I go out of that fan, it's like going into a brick wall of heat. Like it's solid heat here because I'm out of the fanage. have you ever been out of the fanage?
I try not to.
All right. Right, let's sing the first line. Hang on.
Oh, I can't remember the first line.
You can. It's only 4 words. It's only 4 words.
Well, I can't remember it.
Yo. These miscovered.
I know it goes, brothers in arms. Let's play it.
I was just telling you.
Slow, dirty one. Go on.
Ready? I'll do it first, and then we'll do it together. These mist-covered mountains. Right, it's these mist-covered mountains. But like that. Right, we're ready? Yep. 1, 2, 3. On 4. 1, 2, 3, D. These mist-covered mountains. Down. Go on.
I don't know.
Are a home now for me. Do you know any songs off that album? I'm here and I'm there in this.
There's one about we've got to move these refrigerators.
That's the worst one though. That's the hit, isn't it?
Thing wailing in the background. I want my MTV on it.
Do you know the music? Do you know the lyrics then? Let's start it. How does it go? How does it start?
Oh, it starts like an orchestra warming up, doesn't it?
No, it's the electric guitar in it.
It just starts with a load of noise, doesn't it? Then the guitar kicks in.
No.
Yes, it does.
Oh, right. Yeah. Right. What's it called? We got to install microwave ovens, custom kitchens delivery. We got to move these refrigerators. We got to install color TVs. I can't remember what it's called.
Is it not I Want My MTV? What's it called, chat?
Oh, you're right. I want my MTV. You're right. Never be 100%. Never think you know something 100%. The other one I can't stand on the album is Walk of Life. That was the other hit. Sounds like a song by the Boss. What was his name?
He's still going, isn't he?
Yeah, he was like this, the new Elvis, new old Elvis.
Oh, my mum liked him.
Money for Nothing. There you go. Good calls then.
Money for Nothing. That was it.
There you go. Oh, there you go. 42 knew it. Look, everyone's showing
Bruce Springsteen. That was the dude. Well done.
That's it. The Boss. But that Walk of Life is like a Boss song for me. But I'll tell you the song on that album that's so lovely. Me and Mumford sing it a lot. Of course, I can't remember it now. Pressure's On.
Is it Private Investigations? Is that on that?
No,
one?
that's on Alchemy, isn't it? That's on Alchemy.
I like that one.
Goes on a bit, doesn't it? Dum. Yeah, you're right, Spike. That's right. Packer was telling me that. No,
Romeo and Juliet.
Hang on, let me get this. Oh, that's beautiful. That's Alchemy as well, though, isn't it? Hang on. Money. What's the album called? Brothers in Arms. Proper 80s. That I think that was the first album that everyone who bought the vinyl also bought the CD because it was they got it right, didn't they? It was right at the right time. Yeah. Why worry? There should be sunshine after pain. There should be. You don't know it. So why worry now?
I didn't buy that album.
You wanker. You dragged me along all this far.
Yeah. Sing another one. Oh, I won't know.
Yeah. Oh, I'll give you one more. I'm just an aging drummer boy, and in the wars I used to play, and I've called a tune to many a tough decision. Yeah. Now they say I am a war criminal, but I'm fading away. Father, you don't know that one, do you? Why was Mark Knopfler singing about being an American Civil War soldier?
He sang all sorts of stuff that was nothing to do with him. He sang about a jazz band in a pub in London that he was never in, didn't he?
That was nothing to do with him. It's a fair point. Do you think pop singers should sing about things that are things to do with them?
Not necessarily.
Oh, okay. Well, upon what criteria do you make that distinction?
Well, did Elvis go to jail?
Please sing the first couple of lines of that.
Oh, Jailhouse
I'll
Rock.
do it. Is that it? They all go like that, don't they? Doesn't every Elvis song go like that? Is that it? Is that Jailhouse Rock?
Yeah.
What's
I went to a
Elvis's
party to
one?
County Jail, wasn't it? Caught my cock on a rusty nail. That one.
Oh, home, I got such a shirt on, what was that one when he done that lovely comeback gig and he sat in a square? It was a raised square surrounded by middle-aged women, and he done that in the ghetto.
They'd be in the ghetto. Yeah, that was a good one.
That will be what it's called, won't it? And his mama cried. Go on, give me one line of that, just one. See, you know a line, you just don't want to sing it because you've got your missus and your son there. I see, I can see what it is. You know, because if there's one thing that she don't need, it's another little baby child to feed in the ghetto.
Yeah. In the ghetto.
That's what I wanted. There, we got it in the end. How are you, Packer? How's life been?
I'm all right. I've done virtually nothing today because I've got a stinking head cold. I've got touch of man flu, so I've been sipping Lemsips at work and doing as little as possible. I have done stuff, but I haven't worked hard. The
ingredient in Lemsip is paracetamol.
Yeah, there's about 3 ingredients in it.
No, the active ingredient, though, I'm telling you, the one that does something. Get yourself some codeine. I'm not joking either. Get some cocodamol. It's only got a piss amount in it, but do that. Do that. See what Packer does. Do that one.
I won't do anything.
He don't know. Do you like? Is he all right with that? Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, look, he's done it.
He grew up with me.
Well, you go like that to your own son.
Sometimes.
You wouldn't let him do that one, though, would you? Not the middle. Not the bird. That's a bit.
He never has.
He knows the real meaning for it.
Yeah. He grows up with me, so he knows what things mean and what he can and can't do and say.
Does your missus give you that ever?
Well, maybe behind my back, I wouldn't know. You hear that?
No.
I'll just see it fuck off your face.
It's weird because I remember when we were kids, my mum wouldn't let me and my brother say hate. That was considered a bad word. Like I'm talking about when we were like 4 or 5. And she didn't like us saying ain't. Really weird. And then I went around my mate Lee Hopkins' house, and he was like, when he was like 6, he was using the F word and that in front of his mum and dad. And I was like, wow, don't you get in trouble for that? And he went, no, it's only swearing, isn't it? Although admittedly the whole family hung themselves. So I mean, causation and correlation and all that, but got to think.
I spent a portion of my youth in a pub that my dad owned, so I was quite used to it.
You said you bought a Porsche at the start then. You spent the Porsche. You grew up in a boozer, didn't you?
For a bit, yeah.
Blogs is trying to get you on the DF118s. That's the main chemical in my novel, Bill. The old DF118s. Slightly better. Fucking, I tell you what, the difference between a cocodamol and a dihydrocodeine is the difference between a Porsche 911 and a 1955 Soviet Union Lada. You can't get it over here, Bill. You have to get it prescribed, and they're not giving you DF118s for a head cold.
I was actually thinking I might go and get a bottle of whiskey in a bit, see if that works.
What, the whole bottle?
Probably not the whole bottle, no.
It does. Alcohol does work, but it kind of puts it off till tomorrow, doesn't it?
Yeah,
That's
I'll just wake up tomorrow with a cold and a hangover.
There you go. I mean, sometimes it's worth it for the break. I done that in Thailand when I was withdrawing. They have this. Someone in the chat will probably know. Anyone who's been to Phuket, what's that rum they all drink? It's got everyone who's been there knows it. I can't believe I can't remember what it's called. Someone will know that Phuket rum that they all drink. And this bird, because I was like shivering, and I was like 2 weeks into it, so still pretty rough. Well, about 3 weeks into it. And she said, here, and she just done me this little one measure, and I've just whacked it. I nearly puked just by tasting it. But it gave me a little bit of a, you know, a little break from the withdrawal. So I've gone, go and give us another one. I had about 6 of them, and I was up and dancing. I was thinking, I ain't withdrawing. It's all in the mind. It's all in the mind, mate. Marzipan will know what I went through here. About 2 hours later, I was upstairs, puking my ring. Oh, mate, it was coming out of all ends. I felt like death, but again. You know, like you hear about those stories where they kill someone, bring them back to life so that they can kill them again, and bring them back to life so they can kill them again for eternity. I was there. Hello, dislike button. No, it weren't me. Called Song Sang or something. It's called Song Sang. I think it's called Song Sang. But good Lord, it's an unpleasant beverage. Where did you pick up this cold? What,
I don't know. I went to the pub Wednesday night. I was fine, and I woke up Thursday morning with a hangover and a cold. I don't know.
Well, one of my exes in England, her whole family have gone down with the coof, so apparently there's a lot of that. Oh yeah, it was a mistake. I've only ever made it that once here, never again. There you go, Clark. Sang Tom, that's it. You know it. They love it, don't they? I'll tell you what, once, Clark, out there, I had a bottle of that Sang Som, but it was in a glass Buddha.
That's how he would have wanted it.
Can you imagine?
Exactly how he would have wanted it.
Thanks. Oh, but that's how Buddha would have wanted it.
Yeah. That's what he was all about.
I can't believe Clark knows the old Sang Som. I knew someone would. I really knew that. Hello, Basil. Did you get my super thanks? I don't think I did, son. I didn't hear the VAR. Let me check my entropy. Oh, I didn't even. I missed Jambos as well.
I had no VARs this evening.
No, it's been VARless, mate. Lack of donations. People don't give me money anymore. It's very sad. Well, it's over, isn't it? They don't. Well, no, I have had a few tonight, actually. Just not. It used to be more. This makes me quite sad. I'll have a look. Let me have a look. Packer, can you see? Can you see any? Well, no. Tell me, Packer, what you've been up to? Anything new?
I went to a very nice wedding on Sunday. I had to get all suited
up.
No,
weddings are a nightmare. You enjoyed someone else's wedding?
Well, hang on.
Okay.
My Mrs. best mate got married. And we had to go. I couldn't drink. I had to drive an hour, but it was a very nice place. It was all in one place. And the food was delicious. And the bar was free, and I couldn't drink. Hey?
What was the food?
I had deep fried brie for a starter.
Oh no, that sounds good. I could go somewhere.
And then chicken stuffed with chorizo and some
sounds
cheese.
Sounds wonderful. That sounds lovely. But you said
potato. Hey?
Free bar.
Free bar, yeah, and I couldn't drink because I was driving.
Did your missus get shit faced?
No, she never gets shit faced.
No, couldn't take advantage.
I didn't have work the next day because I was going to have a busy weekend, so I thought I'd have another day off. So when I got back, I shot down to the pub.
Made up for it and pretended it was a free bar.
Yeah, God, yeah, did I make up for it? I got down. I went into town to get a few beers because I thought.
Did you keep your hired suit on?
No, it's my suit. I bought it for my brother's wedding.
I know. I was taking the piss, mate. Hang on, sorry, 1 second, Packer. Who was it asked me if I got their donation? Because no, mate, is the answer. I've just been through absolutely all of them. I found Jambos that I missed. I think 42 has just dropped one. Thank you, 42. I'll get that up on the screen in a minute. But I did not get one from you, sir. That is for sure. No, the answer. It didn't come through. So if that shows on your debit card or whatever, I'll talk to YouTube, but it didn't come through. Jambo said, Friday £5 for Danger. Hoita. Nice to hear Dan on your stream the other day. It was a good chat. Yeah, it was a good chat. He's just a great lad, isn't he, Dan? No airs, no graces, just is who he is. 42, they brought St. George back to life twice while torturing him. They could not get him resuscitated the third time. Thanks for the lady, 42. Well, that 1,000 pieces, remember I showed you the photos when they chopped that Chinaman up and put saws through his legs? They give him opium so that they don't die of pain. They, they cauterize the wounds with hot mercury. You ain't dying yet, mate. We've got a few more limbs to cut off you. Yeah. Read the first chapter of Discipline and Punished by Foucault. It's a diary of someone who witnesses a live torture, hung, drawn, and quartered. Horses pulling his arms and legs off, but they can't do it. So they have to start sawing into his shoulders and then whipping the horses. And finally, they managed to pull him apart. I mean, we've moved on a little bit, but not so much. It came out. Well, it hasn't come through, Basil. I do apologise, mate. I'll have a proper look later, but it's not in Entropy and it's not up on the screen. That's why you can't see it. So I do apologise. Thank you, 42, and thank you, Jambo. All right, Packle, look, I've had another nice time shouting at you about absolutely irrelevant things. Always a pleasure. Always nice for you to open the door. It's a what's the word? It's a tradition in these parts, isn't it?
Almost. You got them queuing up, so I will sod off.
I'm a little bit worried about how many people knew who Bruce Springsteen was, to be honest with you. No, that other super chat's not there. I've just looked again. All right, Packer, take care. Go on, piss off. Ta-da, mate.
See you later, Scrubs. Ta-da.
Touch my hand.
Oh, hang on.
There you go. Lovely. Hang on there. Let me tickle it. Ta-da, mate.
Ta-da.
Lovely lad, Packer, and he just comes on, puts up with it, answers the questions as a gentleman should. Oh, hang on a minute. The last video. I can't believe you let me effectively ruin my conversation with Packer. I lost the energy. I lost the focus. And now you say it was on the last video. What? I can't even remember what I was saying 10 minutes ago, let alone the last video. But I've gone tom-tom for that, Basil. That's fucking brilliant. 10 minutes later. No, the last video. That's brilliant. Is it buffering for everyone? I've shut everything down. It shouldn't be. Oh, nice one, Alan. Without a doubt, it's double bubble. Hoit to that. Nice one, Alan. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not skint, but I am starting. I think if business, I mean, it's hard out there. You know, look at most of my income comes from the American market, and America's struggling. America is struggling. You know, the stock markets will recover. That they always do, unless they don't. And if they don't, we'll be talking Mandarin by the end of the century. The end of the decade. And I'm not even joking. But I am starting to think what I'd probably do. I'd probably try and give YouTube as a full-time gig. I'd set up another channel because, you know, I've pissed on my doorstep too much here. I'd set up another channel. I'd focus it. It would probably be a channel about culture and from a particular angle, you know, Marxist. No, I'd probably do something maybe modern, postmodern art, you know, quite a niche channel, but give that a go until the money runs out. And if the money did run out, probably do some crime. But, you know, washing up back to my mother's, and, you know, I'd have to leave my missus and all sorts. It's dreadful. But thank you, Alan. That's really appreciated. You're all right, Basil. That was just too funny. I'm sitting here scanning, looking up and down. I've gone to Entropy. I'm all over the place. Packer don't know what to say. And then you went, that was last time. You don't have to read it now. I couldn't read it now. I don't even know what the video was. But thank you. It is appreciated. Hello, Lumi. How are you, son? Why don't you come on for a chat, Luminatus? It's been a while. I'd quite like you to come on and go. It's kicking off in Paris. Let's see if we can get some live footage of that. I've put the link in the chat. Let's have some different people, maybe. Packer gets out because there, Marzipan. We had him on the last stream. He's buffering. There he is. Hello, Ian.
My dog's tea.
I wanted to see how long we could go without saying anything then.
So first of all, I'd like to apologise.
You don't need to apologise in these parts, surely to God.
Yes, I do.
All right. I can't imagine it.
For my language, the last time I was on, I listened to it back and it was just one F word after another, and I need to stop it.
You know what? Actually, this isn't on you, but you might remember me saying about a year ago, I've got to stop swearing because of the same thing
I
happened.
was embarrassed, Chris. I listened to it back and I was embarrassed. I'm like, that, dear me.
There's no need for it, is there? It's weird. It's really weird.
No, I suppose I was a bit animated, and I'd been through a lot and stuff like that, and had a lot to get off my chest. But yeah, not good.
Isn't it? What a strange journey life is. When you're a young person, you want to swear, and then when you're a sort of like a late teenager, it's every other word's a swear word. I've been, as I'm sure you did, you're in your club with your mates and it's on a boozer and it's just fuck that, come back. And then as you get older, you just think that doesn't sound very, doesn't make me come across very well. I'm a bit more articulate than that. Apology accepted, but no dramas.
So getting on to your generating pictures from people's memories and minds.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's utter rubbish.
3 varts in a row is very kind. What is utter rubbish? As in you think it's not real? They haven't done it.
No, it's not real. Think about it. Critically think about it. No, honestly, critically think about it.
Okay.
So,
well, wait. Before we start, they haven't said they're doing memories. I said that.
Right.
They're looking. I mean, let's get the article up again. That's because I was just saying where it might go. I think we need to, actually have a look at the source material. It won't take long. It won't take up a lot of time. But
I can put my blanket on when you're doing that.
Your blanket, bit chilly over there, is it? Blogs, I've got that in entropy, and I've got yours, Dawn, and another one I will do them. That looks like a nice hoodie, though. That does. That looks. We're back. Hello, mate. That's a lovely bit of kit. Is that a onesie? Does it go all the way down? Please say no. It's huge.
It goes down to just below my knees.
Oh no, that's lovely, man. No, I really like that. I really like it. Right, here we go, Ian. Let me just catch
warm where you are, but
yeah, no, not required. Right, let me just deal with these super chats. Billy Blogs drops a 5-bit in, and he says the glorified predictive text algorithms, aka GPT, might mess up your unusual writing style. Have you tested it? Ask GPT what is the black pill? Garbage in, garbage out. Unfortunately, feminists be prolific on the net. Niggling, to be clear, to be confirmed. Leah Hay, Celia Botton Tour. Yeah, you've lost me at the end there, Bill. But yes, I have tested it. But the reason I can use ChatGPT is I tell it what I want it to do and what I don't want it to do. Yeah, I have tested it. That's why I can do it, because a human proofreader wouldn't be able to do that. I say to ChatGPT, do this, don't do that, show me the changes before you make them. And then it does it, highlights them in yellow, and then I say ignore, change. Bang. And then I do the next section. And in 30 years' time, I'll have it finished. Right, that's that. 1 minute in. Sorry, mate. Dawn Browning, Field Marshal, says utilities are going up 25% here in June. So we've got more veggie crates. It's nuts, isn't it? Corporation tax is going up 20 to 25%. Just chuck another 5% on. Oh, I wonder why there's no money in England. I wonder where all that's going. It's funny, isn't it? Thank you, Dawn. Much appreciated. Lovely to see you here as well. JP is exactly the same as you, Ian. I imagine he's... Are you talking about the AI or the swearing? Confirm thyself. Did I thank you for that, Alan? I think I did, but there's another one. So we done blogs, we done that, and Packer said, "Show us the dog, Ian." Packer wants to see your dog. There's the dog. Look, hello, dog. Oh, beautiful. I'm hardly Johnny Morris, am I? Right, here we go, Ian. Let's have a look at this article and see what you think when we have some actual information. Lovely to see 100 people here. That's beautiful. Friday, early evening. Right, so...
There you go. There you go.
Right, here we go, Ian. I'll try and sort of read it. Let's get to the various bits. Right, here we go. Ready, Ian?
Mm-hmm.
A recent study scheduled to be presented at an up-and-coming conference demonstrates that AI can read brain scans and recreate largely realistic versions of images a person has seen. So, here we go. Do we need? That's about a stable diffusion. We want to see actually how it worked. Right, here we go. Hang on. Right, here we go. Look. In the new study, the researchers added additional training to the stable diffusion algorithm. For stable diffusion, just read AI. It means pretty much the same. Using an online data set provided by the University of Minnesota, which consisted of brain scans from 4 participants as they each viewed a set of 10,000 photos. Yeah, as they each viewed a set of 10,000 photos. A portion of these brain scans from the same 4 participants were not used in training and were used to test the systems later. Each AI-generated image starts out as noise reminiscent of TV static and replaces the noise with distinguishable features. The stable diffusion algorithm compares a person's brain activity patterns from viewing a photo of the patterns in its training data set. The system effectively generates an image depicting the contents, layout, and perspective of the photo being viewed. So there you go, Ian. That's the difference. What I failed to mention was they're looking at the picture in the MRI, and then they scan them, and then they pull that picture out of their heads. You think that's not happening?
No.
Why not? Well, okay. So the more interesting.
Why not? So let's go back to a conversation not long ago that you had on screen about the DSM. So they did brain scans of people that had alleged mental health issues. There was no difference between the brain scans from someone who had a mental health issue than someone who didn't have a mental health issue.
Well, no, that's not
because they couldn't tell.
Yeah, that's not technically true though, because your behavior will change your brain. So if your so-called illness is behavioral, it might create more changes in things like dopamine, serotonin, whatever. It might light up different parts of the brain, but it's still behavioral. It's not an illness. So there is a difference. But hang on, that I have not got the technical knowledge to argue with you about whether that could work or not. But what I can ask you, what this what I've just showed you. But what I would ask you is, why do you think they'd say they can do that if they can't? What's the angle? Why would they lie? What kind? Is this a psyop of some kind? Yeah, but how do you make money out of it if you can't do it?
I'm not talking about grant money. They get grant money, so they'll go to some big technology institution or some university or somewhere like that and go, hey, look what we found. We need loads and loads of cash to go and do this.
No, you've got it the wrong way round, mate. The universities go to the corporations.
Right.
Now, those corporations ain't giving you any grants unless you're providing results. Not a chance.
Oh, they do.
No.
I've seen it.
Yeah, but then
I've been in that industry. I've seen it.
But Ian, if you're not providing results, they're just going to go, yeah, this ain't really working, is it? And if someone can come to you and say we're producing this, then you're gonna keep giving them money. If you're actually getting results, you're not going to keep throwing money at someone who's just it's not working. Why would you? It doesn't make economic sense.
So mRNA works.
Huh?
mRNA technology works.
I don't even know what it is.
The jab.
I've got no idea. I don't know anything about it.
The special Fauci sauce that everybody took in the past 3 years, that works, does it?
Yeah, but you can say that and I can't. So I don't know anything about it. I'm not.
All right. So that works.
Right.
And they've generated loads and loads of money from it. It depends who's backing you, where the money's coming from.
I don't see how that's the same as this. You know, they'd already got there, and they'd already got enough to get people buying the stuff. But if these people are saying, you know, this is the University of Minnesota, right? A well-renowned institution. So if it turns out they're lying, how's that going to reflect on the University of Minnesota?
It's not going to reflect on the people who done that particular study.
Yeah, but who are representative of the University of Minnesota? Surely it's the same. It
doesn't really work like that, Chris. It doesn't really look. I've been to the Louis Pasteur University where I've seen bullshit. I've been to the what's that college in the city of London. I've been there and seen bollocks. I've seen bollocks in Kelvin University. The whole world's built on bollocks.
Hang on a minute. So you're saying that isn't happening? They're not doing that?
No.
Why not?
So
why not?
Here's a simple test. Did they take the noise from participant A, who was looking at a clock, and take that noise signature, show participant B a clock, and get exactly the same noise signature?
I have absolutely no idea. It's not the article doesn't.
Neither have I, but I've got absolutely doubts about it.
But hang on, Ian. I understand that you understand a little bit about the what are they called, the scanners, but this is what AI can do. This is how powerful it is. This is why it's absolutely taken over all industry.
Yeah.
You know, it can process data in ways that we can't even imagine because we don't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand.
I've seen them overlaying data sets to try and find a graph, that works. And what they'll do is they'll take 1 million graphs and they'll apply that data set, and they'll say, oh, that data set matches so many percent to that particular graph. So there's the graph that we're going to use, and that's how we're going to proceed forward with this research. So what they did in an experiment was they took the data set and they applied it. The computer or the AI went through every single image that it could find, and up popped a picture of the Mona Lisa. Yeah, it was a curve or something like that.
Okay. Thank you, Packer, for that warning, but take that on public information message from Packer there. Wouldn't it be more dangerous if that they are doing this and we think and we say no, they're lying, and so then we're not aware of the technology? I just don't. I mean, if you needed to blag a grant, would you blag something? I mean, you know, these things are going to now have to be peer reviewed, so other people are going to start getting on it. And
reviewed by what peers? You know, you get the right people.
No, I get that, and I've said that myself, but I just feel like, they knew when they released this that this would just go viral, okay, which supports your argument, because then everyone's looking at them, and then people are going to want to give them money. We want a slice of this cake because we can, eat things like what do you call it? Self-driving car technology and all that. This is ideal for, and whoever nails self-driving cars is going to own the planet, essentially.
Yeah, but there's also.
I'm not so sure. I mean, do you know how stable diffusion works?
I haven't really looked into the AI side of things, to tell you the truth.
Well, I think this is one of those ones, Ian, where only time will tell.
Anyway, I've done what I wanted to do. I wanted to come on and apologise for the swearing. I wanted to get through this part without swearing. I wanted to bring up this and get the conversation going. And my dog's crying; it needs to go out, so I'm going to have to go and take my dog for a walk.
But congratulations! I don't think you swore at all once, not once.
I don't think I did.
Good, well done, Ian.
Fuck you!
No. Ta-ra, mate. Have a good one. Take care.
You too.
Well, people, there you go. What a weird angle. I didn't see that coming. I'm sort of up to my neck in reading about this stuff. Now, that doesn't mean I'm right. That doesn't mean I'm right at all. It just means I've read a lot of it. I don't understand how stable diffusion works. I'm trying to find out. I try and learn about it. I think you have to. I really think you have to. Anyone on with Ian on that? Anyone think that they're not, that they can't read brain and use AI to translate that data into images? I mean, I'll be interested. Right, one in the chat. One, if you think they're lying, that they can't. Hello, Pandajit Singh. Good to see you. Do you think they're lying and they haven't done that? Or I'll tell you what, I'll send you the link that's got the actual abstract. I mean, the problem with it is it's so far out of most of our sort of scientific knowledge remit. Listen to this. Reconstructing visual experiences from human brain activity offers a unique way to understand how the brain represents the world and to interpret the connection between computer vision models and our visual system. While deep generative models have recently been employed for this task, reconstructing realistic images with high semantic fidelity is still a challenging problem. Here we propose a new method based on a diffusion model to reconstruct images from human brain activity obtained via MRI. More specifically, we rely on latent diffusion model, term stable diffusion. We were so close to a double VAR. So one, if you think there's deception here, and nothing, just don't do anything if you think they have done this. I think they've done this. I'm gonna stick my stake in the hill that they have done this. I think the AI technology. Here's the thing about AI that I'm learning every day. The thing about it, and I come at this from I'm a creative. I'm not a scientist. It's not my thing. But what I'm getting from everyone I'm talking to is the way data is processed is not how we used to do things. It's like quantum physics. Quantum physics, which I know very little about, but what I do know is it revolutionized the way we looked at things. And with quantum physics, literally, because it changes by the fact you're looking at it. And the stuff that's coming out for e-commerce already, my inbox is filled with people saying, We've got this AI machine learning thing that will do this to your data. And it basically predicts your customers' future spending habits based on previous data. Now, but I'll be interested to see if anyone else thinks it's a nonsense. Hello, 69 others, or is that otters? You can now ask AI to write your grant application. There you go. Well, I don't know if you know, but I got my Last Dragon's Den video got a takedown copyright notice from Sony, and I got ChatGPT to write my appeal, and it's the only appeal I've ever won. So there's something interesting there. Maybe I'm... Hello, Steve Craig. Good to see you. It's very interesting stuff. Lumi says that quantum physics is all made up bullshit as well. Yeah. I think... I don't know how you get in the position to know that. I haven't got a... I think that's it's a bit of a weird thing to say, but okay, if you think so. But give me a bit more. Give me a bit more. Tell me why. Tell me why people would bother to do that. I don't get it. It's easier. There's easier ways of making money than having to fraud. I mean, are you going to tell me people didn't walk on the moon as well? Are we going down that road? Hang on, this is interesting. Hello, Toady. I work in AI. It's my industry. I've been kicking around the labs for some years. I did speak to someone looking at MRI, and they said they had very rough results. Well, Toady, this is why I dug out that, because I saw on House 5 years ago they were talking about it as a way of treating this patient, and I looked into it, and 5 years ago they were doing it, but the problem was the amount of data and processing power to translate it into images. But now with stable diffusion, they can do it. That's the bit that was missing. Right, let's deal with these very generous donations. Thank you. Blogs Job's another one. Cheers, Bill. NMRI, well, it's actually fMRI they're using, Bill, but regardless, cannot detect mental states. It just creates images of the physical structure of the brain. Maybe they mean functional MRI. Yes, they do. That's exactly what they do. It's fMRI. That's what it says in the documents. I just didn't read it because I didn't think it was important because everyone says MRI. But even that cannot read minds other than by detect metabolic activity in regions of the brain. I'll probably... listen to Bill. He's such a little niggler. Listen to... This is what... I've got to show you. I love you, Bill. Amazing. I wish I had the cojones to say that. This is amazing. So, remember, people, right? The niggler has just absolutely broken my internet. Hang on. I've got to make sure this is massive. Right, hang on. So, right, just let's get this into perspective. There's an article about fMRI scans reading, the article I showed you, reading brain patterns of people who've looked at these images and then recreating the images using stable diffusion from data gleaned from the brains. It went mad viral. Everyone's talking about it. The tech sphere has just gone crazy about it, right? And this is what Billy Bloggs said, right? Good old Bill. Check it. I'm not saying he's wrong, but I think you might see why my response is so amazing. Check this out. So just the last line. Maybe they mean functional NMRI, and even that cannot read minds other than detect metabolic activity in regions of the brain. I'll probably debunk it later. Busy. I'll probably debunk it later. Busy. I've got shit to do, but later on I'll debunk it. Well, I'd like to see that, Bill. We'll see. Oh, Bill, without a doubt, mate, you just dropped me a tenner and it's lovely. Thank you, mate. And you made me smile. I'm sorry you're so busy, but I'll look forward to your debunking of what the whole world is talking about. Pizzle says it's real. Yeah, I think it is. I mean, it's just too much. It's too big. It's just too big. Ask ChatGPT if the RP. That's the best joke. That's the best one. That's the winner. Ask the drone lord whether its elders speak the truth. If you've turned up late, don't forget to sign up to my Substack. A teaser from my novels coming out later, and trust me, it'll give you a real idea of what this novel's like. It's got a little bit of sexy stuff. It's got a little bit of absolute. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Not now. I know what I'm talking about now, but in the teaser, it will give you a real idea of this novel. So let me apologize now. But when I was editing it, I was thinking, no, this has got to be the next teaser. And I haven't put something up on Substack. When was the last one? Oh, that fucking story about Terry and Anna. That made me sad for a few weeks, that did. Because it's a true story. And she literally said, doctor said the gear was probably keeping him alive, Chris. Yeah, that'll be it, yeah. Yeah. Not the fact that he never ate, never drunk any water, and used to get crack pipes, right? Check this out. Thank you, RP. It's a great gag, and thanks for the donation. He used to get a crack pipe, like a bottle it is, and it's after a day's session with about 20 crackheads, this bottle is full of ash, all sorts of detritus. Now, don't get me wrong, all crackheads clean their bottles. You know, most of them have got a little tool they've made, so you go down into it, you scrape it all out, and you do get a hit off it. It tastes like death, but it has still got cocaine hydrochloride, cocaine base in it. But that fella who died, he used to just put a bit of water in it, a bit of bicarb, shake it up, draw it up into a needle, and it would be like just river water. And you'll be like, and then it'd just go laying on the floor, just a puddle of sweat. You're just looking at it. I remember once he went, I wish you felt like I did. I was like, no, I'm all right, man. You enjoy it. Fucking hell. Good gosh. Well, only time will tell. I mean, Blogs is going to debunk it later. Busy. That's excellent. That is absolutely excellent. Well, Bill, did you see the pictures? It's not just what I read. It's the actual images. Maybe you got here late, but here, I'll show you. I'll show you again. Have a look at this, Bill. This might send you absolutely scatty. So the images at the top are what they showed them, and the images at the bottom are what the Stable Diffusion interpreted from their brain MRI scans. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think it's amazing. I think that's amazing. But I do think it will be used in court, and that's going to be so strange. Imagine getting done for something. Hello, Pags. How are you, son? Take care, Ian. Hello, Dennis. We had a good little bit of back and forwards earlier, haven't we? Some interesting things. I went and told everyone what you told me about your card getting blocked, and then you told me it hadn't. I had to go and tell them all it didn't happen. Thanks for that. Hello, Snoops. Charlie Sparkles. Casa calling. I will. What, you want me to do that now, Bill? All right, then. Hang on. Let me just sign in. There you go. Chat GPT 3.5. Yes, I do have the most advanced version up on my computer. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Right. I mean, don't get me wrong, Bill. I know it's woke as fuck, but that was expected, wasn't it? So what have I got to ask it? What is the black pill? I guess it's going to say the black pill is a right-wing conspiracy theory, blah, 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 blah. Here we go. Oh, you'll like this one. Look at the speed of that plus. Look at that. Here we go. I'll read it out to you. The black pill is a term that originated on certain, it won't say 4chan, on certain online forums, particularly in the manosphere, 42, and refers to a set of beliefs that are often associated with nihilism, fatalism, and a bleak outlook on life. It's typically used to describe a perspective that emphasizes the biological differences between men and women, and suggests that these differences are largely responsible for inequalities in society, particularly in regards to dating and relationships. Well, that's a bit of the black pill. I don't think there is a black pill, is there? This is a really weird angle. The black pill is often contrasted with the red pill, which is also a term from the manosphere. Really? There's no women on the right, no? But which emphasizes self-improvement and empowerment as a way to achieve success in relationships and in life more broadly. Oh, sounds awful. It's worth noting that these terms are often associated with controversial and sometimes offensive views, and that they can be used in a variety of ways depending on the context and the individuals involved. I don't think that's necessarily a bad. I mean, that's a bit of the red pill, and I think the red pill has got more of the whole sort of men's rights movement because of Thingy Bob's film. But I'm not. That's just a facet, an aspect of the black pill, isn't it? I mean, there's a bigger picture. Yeah. Oh, I was expecting something a bit more interesting, Bill. You boring bastard. You niggler. You niggled me right up. Right, let's get someone on. This will have to be the last one because it's 3:10. And this sample that I'm going to put on the internets tonight still needs finishing. Well, it needs editing, you know. There's the link. Let's get someone on. Made in England. Have you ever cooked up with actual river water? Yes. Yes. Shot up would be the word. I've cooked up with beer. I've cooked up with vodka. I've cooked up with my own spit. The worst I've ever cooked up with, and the people in the channel will tell you this because I've told the story, was water that was in the toilet on a commuter train. I was rattling my arse off. I got my spoon out. I put my gear in it. I put my citric in it. I got my knee out and around to the tap. Nothing. And I've around. Usually at that point, if you're in a pub toilet, you take the top off the toilet and get the system water. But in trains, that's built into the back of it. So I had to use water that was down the pan. Now, if you think of that Dartford to London train, it probably had about a couple of hundred people shitting it that morning. It's probably why I'm so clever, Arklow. How are you, son?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Now, you got the headline spot on the Scrubstock too.
Have I?
Did it feel like it? But you blew everyone's minds because we thought it was going to be a baritone.
Yeah.
I kissed my love by the gasworks wall. Come on, you must know
Shane McGowan. That sounds like Shane McGowan.
Huh?
That sounds like Shane McGowan.
Yeah, but originally it's the Dubliners. Actually, I think
originally by Ewan McCall.
Ewan McCall, that's it. We've had the same conversation before. I said Brendan before. It was Ewan McCall. You know what happened to his daughter who he done fairy tale?
Yeah, she got hit by a speedboat on a holiday, allegedly.
No, she was in a speedboat and she got caught up in its own motors.
Oh. Terrible.
What a way to go.
She had a nice voice and she had some good songs.
Excuse me.
You know,
I can't think of any of her solo songs. I can't think of any of them. Fairy Tale in New York.
She had They Don't Know About Us. Remember that one? Tracy Ullman did a cover of it. Why should it matter to us if they don't approve? We should just take our chances while we've got nothing to lose.
How do you know all the lyrics to that song? Because you were a young man in love, weren't you?
I was about 10 when I was 8.
Yeah, I do remember it now.
12. It's
They
12,
don't know about us because they've never heard of love. Something like that. There you go. There you go. So what have you got to talk about, Arklow? Have you come on with an agenda or are we just chatting?
No, I just very quickly, two things. One, I don't know if that MRI story about that AI generated image, how profound that actually is, but I assume it's essentially true, and it's probably just out there as a kind of a, oh crikey, look at this, kind of sensationalist kind of way, but it's the overall trajectory that I would have the concern about. Technology at this point, it might be, as Pax Max would say, it has very, very defined boundaries that essentially constrain it and don't make it that sinister. But it will keep optimizing, I would imagine, going forward, and quickly as well, I would think.
And self-optimizing, because it
That
learns.
would be the big, worry.
Singularity.
Itself. Is it iterative? It's can it optimize itself?
There's a woman, I can't remember, I think she was part of the OpenAI company that made ChatGPT, and she was at a conference, and obviously the first question was along the lines of, a lot of people are very scared about AI. I mean, it was only a couple of years ago on this channel, I wrote it off. I was saying AI won't happen. I said it many times. I just said, no, it's all that, they've been going on about this for years. And they've proved me very wrong. But she said, look, AI at the moment is far nearer a smart washing machine than it is a Terminator. That's where we are.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, absolutely.
And all the actual applications I'm seeing are mainly about processing data, and the other thing is how to get that data into a computer. Like now they're talking about things where you can tell a computer what picture you want. So rather writing it in Mid-Journey, and you can adjust it live, so you can sort of say, put a sun up in the top right. No, less bright, less, yeah, like dusk, like sunrise with a little bit of red in it. That's it. Yeah, nice. And you're talking to an image generator like that.
Yeah.
Now that's what interests me. It's incredible.
Would the type of algorithms that control artificial intelligence ever kind of develop some sort of meta awareness of itself? Is it even possible? I wonder. At which point it decides, actually, I'm no longer listening to programmed controls and commands. I'm starting to decide, you know what, Christopher, today you don't need to see that wonderful image of that little Patong dancer today. You actually need to see the Sistine Chapel today. That's what I'm going to show you instead. I have decided, after a meta-analysis of all the inputs I've had of all your movements for the last week, I've decided that today, rather than seeing that wonderfully titillating image of that lovely little smooth brown belly gyrating so wonderfully with that very fetching tongue.
You're going into some detail on that part of things, aren't you? Can you go into the same detail about the Sistine Chapel?
I've been in the Sistine Chapel, so we can, yeah.
But here's my answer to that, Arklow. Did you ever think that when other technology like a JCB or JBC, I never remember, digger, when's it going to come a time when that digger says, no, I'm not digging that hole, I'm going to go over there and start digging up the neighbour's foundation?
Chris, if we picked up a flint and fashioned some sort of a cutting implement out of it, could we not have just pulled things apart? Why did we need to cut them apart? Why did we need to develop a flint tool to do that? Why stack wood for the winter time?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because we're not created equal. And so primates essentially looked for things. Well, bacteria does it. Looks for things that can up it in the food chain. How can I be stronger in the struggle for resources than the person next to me? And I think that's what AI is being used for.
Yeah, or in military terms, a force multiplier. Which is I think that the reason AI will become more optimized and will develop into troubling directions is because it'll be essentially be an arms race of technology. We can't afford to let China run away with it. We can't afford to let Russia run away with it. We can't afford to let independence. We have to have the good guys.
Well,
we have to have good capitalism, good neoliberal capital has to be the moral center for how AI will develop in a moral and just way. That will allow whatever.
When we were talking about this, the other week, I showed the company Palantir, who are a massive data crunching company, and it's mad that you can go to palantir.com, and the first page is all quite nice and looks all futuristic, but as you scroll down, it suddenly says, creating the finest weapons of war that mankind has ever, and you're like, hang on a minute, what? And, it's like you're selling a box of chocolates to me, and I sort of called it out. But as I said on the next stream, do I want us to have that technology, or do I want those who are our enemies to have it, or neither or both? Because it can't be neither anymore, because you can't go backwards with technology. It doesn't work.
Well, I spoke to my nephew about 2 years ago. I call him a young lad. He's about 30, and he's a good guy. He's a top lad. He's the best in the world, But I just was talking to him. I think culture is becoming a bit vacuous, mate. It's all just about I got to visit that country and I saw that place and this place. There's no connection to any of it anymore, And I was trying to come from that angle, I said, look, mate, I remember Dublin going out to pubs in the inner city around Temple Bar before it was Temple Bar, and it was a kip. It was an absolute kip. But you know what? It was kind of fun too, It ain't like that anymore, Chris. It ain't like that anymore, and not by some considerable margin is it like that anymore. And but he was basically saying, no, I multiculti, I was throwing out multiculti and global homo as kind of, I need to know where you stand, kid. And he was like, no, I don't mind. Everything's okay. It's all good. And I was like, okay, fair enough. I wasn't trying to bully him into a position, by the way. I just wanted to sound him out a bit, 30 years of age and doing well for himself. He's the best in the world, but he doesn't see things the way, at this point.
They're different generation.
And it doesn't make him a bad person, by the way. It just makes him that his focus and his attention is elsewhere, And I mean, I didn't even broach it from a kind of I have to racially, or not racially, I have to do a purity test here, see if you're thinking the right way.
Yeah.
It was just to sound them out, and I mean, I wasn't particularly surprised, and but yeah, from that mindset, through that lens, I think folks with that mindset will be any development at all is absolutely fine. It's all going to work out really well. Things will just become more comfortable and more convenient.
I think you're right in that respect. I mean, go on. Oh, hang on a minute. 42 said that Thanatos got given a load of money, and they did. Now, this was a company that at one point was valued, I think, at something like 10 billion. And there was this woman who spoke in a really deep voice that she obviously put on. And she reckoned she could prick your finger with a pin and one drop of blood run about 50 tests on it. This is 42. Was earlier on, I was talking to Ian about getting money. I don't know if you saw it, for grants for things. And that's why they're lying about this AI, apparently. But she's now been going through a massive court battle and she's probably going to end up in prison. 42. So if you do lie and you get caught out, so I don't think these people would have said this if they couldn't back it up.
Chris, like again, the direction that I'm assuming that the trajectory of the technology will be, it'll be a completely panoptic machine. Everything you do will be an input for a processing center to interpret. I think that's just how it's going, and I like what will be your options? You can throw a noise into it. You know, I say that if I am on YouTube or something, that when I get recommended stuff, I deliberately say I'm not interested every once in a while, even though I know I'd be interested in it, and I'd be like, "Oh, Jesus, I want to watch that," and I go, "No."
But the thing is, look, I get it, and people, you know, but what's your day been like? I bet your day's been all right, hasn't it?
Today,
yeah,
I had a great day today. Yeah, it was brilliant.
Exactly. Yeah, and you know, it's like we all humans understandably look to the future, usually pessimistically, and they've been doing that since time began.
Yeah.
And you know, 30 years ago, they were telling us how terrible things were going to be because of this technology, that technology, this, that. And yeah, things have got bad. Other things have improved, though. Some things have improved.
Yeah.
And actually, my day's been all right. Your day's been all right. And we're probably opposite ends of the planet.
It has been, Christopher. It absolutely has been. But by the same token, I get bombarded on Twitter with a climate like this is how bad it is, and I was completely unbidden. So my interaction with technology, whether it's decided I'm a wrong thinker, maybe I need to be pushed back onto the reservation.
Yeah, but you know, you've chosen to go on a platform that has largely been dominated by the left for the last sort of
absolutely. And I assume because of my viewing habits that the platform has decided, well, you're a bit naughty, mate. You really need to get some more positive influences in your life.
It's
there.
Interesting, isn't it? So they actually, hang on. So how are they getting this info to you, like through adverts and things?
I get on a Twitter scroll. I mean, I don't follow that many people. I follow more. Like, you know.
Well, hang on. So you're getting tweets that have been boosted sent to you.
Yeah.
Telling you that the world's going to be over
for the last 3 or 4 days. 3 or 4 of these DNC yahoos, give us a heart if you love Joe Biden. You know, I get all. I don't follow POTUS, but I get all of POTUS's updates.
See, I don't get anything like that. My
do you not?
No,
I get that constantly. I get climate stuff about. Here's really how serious it is.
The only climate stuff I get is from Manimoo. He's a scrub.
Yeah. I know. Here's a quick little point, Christopher. One of the old YouTube channels that I still actually follow is Peter Hadfield, Potholder 54. He was great for debunking religious claims, you know, and I love that stuff. You know. But I still like him,
that was the original red pill, wasn't it?
The religious people.
Yeah.
Anyway, look at. I still like his stuff a little bit, like, you know,
sorry, go on.
He does like yet more stupid claims about you know, climate denial, yada yada yada, whatever. So I commented at him a rather long comment saying, Peter, what you need to understand is, I for example, at a work conference I attended, two of the speakers were talking about how young people, particularly people into their 20s and 30s, are presenting to GPs and to psychologists with symptoms of PTSD, and they're all describing how despondent and hopeless and anxious they feel about the climate now. That this is a big thing. They feel hopeless. They feel like incoherent sort of tension. And it manifests as not being able to sleep and feeling depressed and anxious all the time. So I was saying to Potholder 54, can you not see that there's a problem now that people are starting to feel despondent because they've access to information? And we're not even talking about, you know, whether it's, actually, he actually featured that very clip. That was from 1989, I think, at a Tory conference in Brighton, I think.
Amazing.
Thatcher was actually saying the climate change, global warming is a thing that conservatives should be taking the lead on, you know.
Wow, interesting.
Which is really
Twist
weird,
of
you know,
Rooney.
really, really weird. And so basically I was trying, like, because the potholder thing would be, no, there's data, there is
Yeah.
data, okay? And land ice is reducing, sea levels are rising, and you just have to deal with reality on reality's terms. And I'm thinking, fair enough, mate, but if all it's doing is causing people to feel despondent and anxious and start to feel like they're a barely tolerated drain on resources, can you honestly say that that's actually doing any good? Is that helping anybody? I actually got a reply from him saying, "Oh no, we mustn't go to that place. No, we must let's channel our energy somehow productively, you know. So let's just use social media better, you know." And I can't.
What's your take on it? You're not buying it at all?
I do. I accept a lot of claims, but
I think that the climate is changing, but I think it always has done.
Yeah, certainly. My problem is that the big article of faith when I was one of those new atheist YouTube people 15 years ago was they'd constantly talk about how people actually in fields and really refined specific fields that were doing field work were maybe in a faculty in somewhere like Cambridge or Oxford or wherever, that they'd never stray outside that and make bold claims about their knowledge. That they would just simply say, this one tiny element is what we are speaking confidently about. But now we have, now we just know everything now. You know, science is pronounced. So I think personally that a major thing that gets abused is they never talk about time frames of anything, or they're really slippery with their language. This may be in effect. This could catastrophic sea rise could happen. That's the equivalent of me saying, like, I could become a fucking scratch golfer next week. Not likely. It could happen. Theoretically,
it could happen. Yeah, it could.
But I'm not putting my house on it, like, you know what I mean? So, so basically, I might just put my camera off for 1 second and keep talking to you, Christopher. Okay, just very.
Well, I'm going to wrap this up.
Sorry,
it's 3:30.
This is Arklow Rocks might be wanting to use the kitchen there, and I just don't want her to.
No, that's understandable. But listen, man, I've got to go. I'm not going to get this teaser out.
Hey, look at
always a pleasure.
A great pleasure there, Chris, and to all the scrubs there. Thanks for putting up with me there, guys.
Nice one, mate.
I'll talk with you again soon. Okay.
And send my regards to Mrs. Arklow.
I will indeed.
Cheers,
all right.
mate.
Thanks very much, folks. Bye now. Bye.
Oh. Yeah. I tell you what, you can imagine Mrs. Arklow rocks. Old Arklow, well, he'd have been a young Arklow then. Probably went up to her with that accent. Job done. Job done. I reckon with that accent, you could pull any American woman. Any. Good gosh. I had someone the other day actually say that women fancy me because of that British accent. I was like, yeah, I I think you got the wrong end of the stick there. You got the one with a little bit of dog shit on it. Ugh the second. You still haven't sent me a song, so I can't out with yours. Let me grab something quickly. That looks good to me. We'll go there. Right, listen. Have I missed any donations? 42. I did put yours up. Why Naughty G has dropped 150 NTs in. Thank you. Mousecat said, when computer coders lose their jobs, can we say learn to chat GPT? No, the gag is that comes from Mr. Me in it. Thank you, mate. No, we tell them to learn to dig coal. Because it was that meme come out of them telling all those coal miners, wasn't it, that they needed to learn to code? I think that's right. No, you'll be all right. Just go and get yourself down those seams. Go and crawl through those. That's hard work. Go on, learn to dig. Listen, I want to thank you for that as well, Raymond. It was a good joke as well. And thank you, everyone. It's been lovely. What a pleasure. I really apologise that I'm not streaming so much, but you'll have to trust me. The novel is getting done. And it's, I used to stream twice a day. Try streaming twice a day and running a business and having a missus and writing a novel. I couldn't do it all. So I've had to sacrifice something. I feel like the community is suffering a little bit, but we still had 100 people here for most of this. I will be back to more streaming, but I'm just on this roll at the moment, so I'm going to get it done. But if you're not already signed to my Substack, it's totally free. Top link in the description. The teaser that goes out tonight. All my regular Substack and Scrubstack readers, leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this, because it really means a lot to me. And this teaser is a real. This is what the novel's like. I think I've put 2 teasers up before, but this is more a good representation of what the other 258,000 words. It's so big. This novel's going to, oh, God. My editor told me to take it down to 120,000, and it's currently at 260,000. I ain't cutting it down. I don't want to. Charlie Sparkles was proper laughing, which is always a pleasure. Thanks to everyone who donated. Thanks to Rags and Steve Craig for looking after the place. Well, I don't think Rags has been here, but love him to death anyway. Hello, Sir Charles. Nice to see you. Did I 42? Did I get I mentioned the Thanatos one. She's in court. She's in big trouble. But, and thank you most of all to all you lot who come along and make up this wonderful community. Bless you all. And right, the missus tomorrow. I'll probably stream Sunday. I'll try and get one in on Sunday. And I will do a members stream as well. I promise, but not Sunday. The thing is, when I've got time to stream, I know people are members and that. But when I have got time to stream, when I've done members streams, I've only had like 7 or 8 people turn up. And there's loads more members. And I think, well, if I've got time to do a stream, it would be nice to get everyone in. But there you go. It's hard. It's hard. Oh, hang on a minute. You started well too early. Thank you all for coming. If I don't see you Sunday, well, I probably will, but whatever. There's still a day and a half. Enjoy your weekend. Look after yourselves. And remember, I ask what your life is like right now. Don't project into the future, because that's where fear lives. And don't think about the past, because that's where resentments live. But right now, where you are, it's all right, isn't it? It's all right. It's all right. You haven't got to go too far back in history, and you haven't got to go too far in geography for it to be a hell of a lot worse. Trust me on that. See you all later. This is Big Boy Bally Bollocks G with Deep Water. Can you please let me know you can hear it? Ta-ta. Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm still there. See ya. Be a pleasure, Snoops. Good God, hated it. How weird. I tell you, I mean, they've changed how it works. I'm not this rubbish at using this software. I'm sitting here loving it. Bandware, we had audio shit one. Let's try again. Good gosh. They've changed it and they haven't told me how to do it. Bastards. Right, let's try again. Right, I've got the audio tab open. Why? Oh, right, let's try it this way. Let me know if you can hear it. All right. Have a lovely weekend, people. Bless you all.
Everyone knows I'm gonna be the first man down.
Linda!
All my friends are sick of having me around. Nobody wants to give a buddy one last break. Can't go on, I've taken all a man can take. Life is a curse, it only gets worse in the world of what maybe my mind will fail to ever find the point. I'm going deep, deep down underwater. Gonna make my grave.
It's good advice. Remember to count 10 blessings before you go to sleep. If you can't count 10, then plan to do things that will get you to 10 tomorrow night. Sounds like good advice to me. Nice one, Dawney.
Underneath the wave, I'm going deep, deep down underwater. Gonna lay my head.
Good to see you, Linda, darling.
On the riverbed. Looking back, I rejected every place I stayed.
It is a scrap.
A woman says I'm lying in the bed I've made.
Yes, we all.
She says warriors don't give up before the war begins.
It's an awful bit of writing. You'll love it.
So I get high to justify the mess I'm in. People get mad and people get sad, but at least they have a cause. Struggle to feel emotion I can really trust. I'm going deep, deep down underwater. Gonna make my grave underneath the wave. I'm going deep, deep down underwater.
And don't do what you can't,
Gonna
mate.
lay my
Worry, I
head
can help you.
on the riverbed.
Have a good night. Have a good night, Argo. It would have been nice to have a chat.
Going deep, deep down underwater. Gonna make my grave underneath the wave.
Stay strong, Jambo.
I'm going deep, deep
What you can
down
do, what you
underwater.
can do, accept.
Gonna lay my head on the riverbed. I'm going deep, deep down underwater. Gonna make my grave underneath the wave. I'm going deep.
And there you go. We didn't even get one see you later SMN in there. SMN? I don't even know what that is. Do yourselves a favour and dig out the Icelandic band called Mum. M-U-M. Lovely. Check out my Substack when it drops. Oh, it's wicked.